So some of the differences in cannabis in general. So we're talking about a cannabis product, and people hear cannabis, and it's a taboo word. It's been a taboo word because it's been illegal here in the United States forever. Just in 2018 was the first time that they made federally legal CBD specifically. So they isolated one cannabinoid, and they actually made the differentiation between THC and CBD, which kind of opened up the whole world to understand that cannabis wasn't just something that got you high. Cannabis is a genus of plants. There's 400 plus species of plants. I like to use canines. Everybody's heard of lots of different types of dogs. You could probably name 50 if you just sat down and started thinking about different types of dogs. Well, cannabis is that way too, and anything that has cannabinoids in that plant is a cannabis plant. There's only a few that we've ever heard of. We've heard of marijuana plants. We've heard of hemp plants, right? Hemp plants have been around forever. The Egyptians used it to make cotton sails and textiles and things for their sails. The Pilgrims came over with hemp sails on their ships. Hemp's been around forever. And hemp is a long stalk product. It's more of like a corn stalk. It's got long fibers. And its most prolific cannabinoid in hemp is CBD. Now there is THC among another 120 different cannabinoids that are currently known. It has all those different cannabinoids at different levels, but a high concentration of CBD is what is in hemp. On the marijuana plant, which is one of 400 different cannabinoid plants, its highest and most prolific cannabinoid is THC. Well, in that marijuana plant is also CBD. And you can get a marijuana plant, and they're engineering them now and cultivating them to get 20 to 25% THC out of those buds. But you're also getting 4 or 5 and sometimes as much as 10% CBD in those plants also. So there's different ways to cultivate plants through science and you know, horticulture, easy for me to say, right? So horticulture has really driven this industry, and so now we're able to produce really high concentrated CBD stuff with hemp plants the way that they've cultivated marijuana plants. So we're getting really high CBD. Now, the benefit of that is that when you have a full spectrum, it means that you differentiated all those cannabinoids, and the only thing that makes it legal is that it has below 0.3% THC. 0.3% is minuscule, but THC, like CBD, is a very, very powerful cannabinoid. It has tons of medicinal properties. The medicinal properties really can do a lot of great things. So without it, you're missing what's called the entourage effect. And you're still getting the entourage effect from all the other cannabinoids in there, which is the grouping of all of those. And it's a potentiation of things. So if you use just isolated CBD, that's kind of where the industry started. Isolated CBD will work, but only on a small scale and usually for a short amount of time, and your body gets accustomed to it and it doesn't do much. Full spectrum uses all of those different cannabinoids together, and it hits all the receptors, opens up those receptors, and allows your body to use it. A lot of people don't know your body already makes cannabinoids at really, really low levels. It produces them on its own. And your body's equipped with an endocannabinoid system. So when a fetus is developed, a brand new infant is conceived, the very first system that comes around is the heart. And you can tell that from an ultrasound. It gets a 4-chamber heart. And the very next thing is a brain and a brainstem. So you have a cardiovascular system, then a central nervous system. The very third system is an endocannabinoid system. That wasn't discovered until 1992. So this is very recent in the scope of medical field. And so you take the endocannabinoid system, and now they're not exactly sure still how it truly affects everything, but they know it affects every body system. And because it starts so early on, they've figured that it must be very important. They don't know the scope of that yet, other than CBD and cannabinoids in general work very well. THC also works very well, but it's federally illegal. So we're sticking with illegal products and pulling out anything as far as the THC side that would deem it illegal, and that's where you get a full spectrum CBD product. When you get a broad spectrum CBD product, it's a full spectrum product and they've extracted THC. But like we've talked about the industry being unregulated, you're going to find now on the market people that are taking isolated CBD, which has one cannabinoid, just CBD, and then they're going to add CBG, and they're going to add CBN, and they're going to add just a couple different cannabinoids, and then they're going to market that and call it a broad spectrum product, which clearly is not going to work nearly as well as a full spectrum or a true broad spectrum where they only reduced and eliminated just the THC.